raining again, although there should be a good chance it will stop because the sunlight looks like it's coming out again further south. Let's see if that happens. And what's going on today? Some interesting stuff. How about this? First one that was kind of interesting. It dealt with, I guess, drone delivery, but not what you're used to seeing. For example, more traditional things like a quadcopter. This one seems like it's using things like a glider type of design. This one says, Jedsy Drone pilot to ferry lab samples in Switzerland. Glider aircraft docks vertically on windows, balconies. It's kind of cool. You can see on their official company site and stuff too. There's a bunch of interesting videos showing this. It says Swiss drone startup Jedsy has embarked on a pilot project to deliver laboratory samples for the Dr. Reach Lab Group in Switzerland using its glider unmanned aerial vehicle. The drone is unique in that it is capable of vertically docking outside of upper story windows and balconies, much like a moth landing on a wall. This allows both sender and recipient to load and unload the UAV from the window in any weather in a matter of seconds. The docking stations the glider lands on, the company calls them mailboxes, charge the drone, which can be back in the air within a minute. The glider takes off and lands vertically and transitions to and from forward flight when it's clear of the landing zone. The aircraft is also fully autonomous and one operator can monitor several flights at once, Jedsy said. Can you imagine that if you're doing a delivery or expecting something like that? This thing just comes up and claws near your window or something like that, like here's your package. It's kind of like a Spider-Man, huh? It says the glider has been designed to be considerably quieter than typical multi-copter drones, and all of the systems are redundant to make it fail-safe, the company said. To preserve patient privacy, the live stream feed used by the drone operator becomes blurry when the aircraft approaches the lab to pick up the sample. Switzerland's Federal Office of Civil Aviation has approved the drone's first flight route between Reach Lab and Bush SG and Vaduz. So that's kind of cool, seeing different types of designs and ways of doing it, as opposed to just always focusing on bigger, better, or just, for example, simply smaller. This is the type of innovation you need. Would you prefer drone delivery per se to be something like this that will hop near your window or something like that where you can take the package, or would you prefer, let's just say, something like a multi-rotor that will drop the package to you? If they say here the noise is not as loud as, say, a traditional quote delivery drone that you see, then maybe that's a good solution. Either way, good to see innovation. And then I read this and I was wondering what is going on here. Apparently there was a police officer using a drone to help with an arrest of sort, but he crashed, I guess, the drone into the house. It says Bungling County Durham cop crashes drone into house during major operation. A Bungling cop crashed a drone into a house during a major operation to arrest suspects. The officer from Durham Police lost sight of the drone he was flying before it collided with a house. It happened on a street in Horton County, Durham, while officers were carrying out an operation to arrest suspects. The Echo understands the pilot was being supported by an observer who became distracted before the crash. So that's double, I guess, bad. You have all these people, I guess, monitoring it and so forth too, and they still crashed. It says Durham Police suspended the officer from flying while they were given further training to test their safety and competency. So according to this, they did a reassessment test on the person and he passed, so he was able to fly again. They say there was no damage to the house, but the drone was slightly damaged, and that the incident occurred on September 12th last year, but a report into the blunder has just been published. And what was he flying? Apparently it was a DJI Mavic 2 Enterprise Dual. It makes me think of that point again, at least here anyways, in Canada. The test and the process and so forth, it makes absolutely no sense in many ways in terms of safety in flying a drone. You learn all these ridiculous stuff in terms of manned aircraft, how to take off, for example, and land in runways and all that. It doesn't actually teach you things like how to fly in general. Wouldn't that make you think too? Because here actually all the major crashes with actual manned aircraft came from police officers. What's the point of, in my opinion, doing a quote reassessment test when it would kind of show in some ways? Don't you sit there and think, hey, maybe this test and process doesn't actually teach people to be safe, so let's basically look into it. Maybe we need to redo this, but nope, let's just keep it the way it is. That doesn't make sense, huh? But I guess in general, it's like, again, it's okay for some reason, like here, I guess, when police officers and stuff crash, people don't make a huge deal about it. But when a recreational person or a kid flying a toy in a quote, control airspace in their own home in the backyard, that's the end of the world. That doesn't make sense to me. Alright, see you guys later.